George Murang'a. Catherine Simaloy is still on sign language interpretation. And our guests tonight are still the Honorable Geoffrey Ruto, Member of Parliament, Beren North, as well as Joe Nyutu, Senator for Murang'a. Mheshimiwa Nyutu, looking at the offer that your new camp is offering to Kenyans, of what difference, of what importance, as Mheshimiwa Ruto has, poked and questioned, what is new apart from, quote unquote, the seeming opposition of the current regime?
Thank you, Murang'a. And before I come to that, I want to mention something that Honorable Ruto has mentioned, and that is of great concern to the country. Because the allegation or the argument that Rigathi Gachagua cannot run for office is a very serious allegation, is a very serious statement for me. Why do I say that? Because we know, of course, there is that judicial process. It is true that Rigathi Gachagua was impeached, though he was not impeached legally, actually, because of course, it's basic that you cannot condemn somebody unheard. And Rigathi Gachagua was not heard in the Senate where I sit, because of course he fell ill. So what you're saying, why I need to mention that is because when Ruto, who is on the government side, says that Rigathi Gachagua will not run, then he is telling the nation that they have taken control of the judiciary and that they know well in advance that the judiciary will rule against Rigathi Gachagua. So this thing that Rigathi Gachagua will not run is something that actually needs to make our judiciary wake up, because what Ruto and company are telling the nation is that we do not have an independent judiciary. It has been captured by the Kenya Kwanza government. And so maybe before I get to that,
I want to interject just a little bit.
Okay.
Just remind Senator Nyutu that after the impeachment process went from the National Assembly to the Senate, there was a court case which validated that the National Assembly and the Senate met all the legal provision, all the constitutional provision, that Rigathi Gachagua was impeached according to the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. So I don't know which is this other judiciary Senator Nyutu is talking about. Because judiciary went through the processes, and judiciary took all its time to determine the questions which were, the legal questions which were put in front of the court by very senior state councils led by Paul Moite. And the verdict was clear. So judiciary is clear. Judiciary gave a verdict. And it was not interfered by anybody. We have a very independent judiciary in the Republic of Kenya.
We'll be coming
Thank
to
you. That was an
interjection.
interjection.
And then
I want to remind Honorable Ruto.
Yes.
Because he seems to have forgotten that when the judicial process, we have what we call appeal. That decision that he's talking about was decided at the level, I think, of the High Court. We still have two other levels. This matter has not been decided. It was not decided in the Court of Appeal, and we also have the Supreme Court. Surely, Honorable Ruto should know that the decision, the only final decision in the legal process, is that of the Supreme Court and not any other court. So, Honorable Ruto, please just know that was the High Court, and this is something that is subject to appeal at the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. And so we have not exhausted the avenues in the judiciary. But to answer your question, Murang'a, what new we have to offer in this particular coalition? One is a coalition that will respect the rights of Kenyans and respect Kenyans. a coalition that will not call Kenyans stupid, a coalition that will do public participation, that if we need to bring affordable housing, for example, I don't know whether it's affordable, that we do proper public participation, because that is what our constitution requires. A coalition that will not run down the economy of this particular country. A coalition where we'll not have abductions. A coalition that will listen to the messenger without killing the messenger. Because, and why I say that, I mean, you remember that lady that went protesting that SHA was not working at the Ministry of Health headquarters. Imagine that lady was arrested from a hospital just because of telling the government it is naked. We want a coalition that will respect every Kenyan, a coalition that will not take any particular community in this country and isolate it, a coalition that will respect women. And when I say that, of course, you know what Mali Muhammad called women, our mothers, actually not our girls, our mothers, a coalition in the presence of the president. And to this day, the president has never condemned those very unfortunate remarks. So we want a coalition that serves Kenyans with respect, that looks at Kenyans, a coalition that will be truthful, that when you say you will uplift Mama Mbogas and the border people, you do that. This government is now lifting former governors, and you can mention them. I mean, William Kabogo, Lee Kinyanjui, former minister, Mutahi Kagwe. I would want Honorable Ruto to tell us, because tuliambiwa ni serikali ya boda, to tell us which border people, which Mama Mboga, which Mama Mbogas have been given jobs in this particular government. So we want a government that will keep its promises. That is what this coalition is going to offer. A coalition that will disburse capitation to schools at the right time and in the right quantities. A coalition that will give a health solution that works, not one that is failed to work, and a coalition where the president will not start campaigning for a re-election 3 years ahead of the election. A coalition where the president will sit in the office and work and allow people to work, not do all the work.
Okay.
That is what we have to offer in the new coalition.
Mashimarugu is itching to respond.
You know, it is going to give credit where it deserves. During Mwai Kibaki presidency, Mwai Kibaki ran an administration which was very backful to the politics and economy of the Republic of Kenya. Mwai Kibaki spent 5 years to get the macroeconomic indicators of this country right. President William Ruto has spent 2 years to get the macroeconomic indicators of this country right. And one of them, I mean, two of them, very important ones, is that the inflation of this country is at 2.6%, a situation it experienced 17 years ago. The rating of the economy of this country by the New York body called Moody's, it is where it is today. I mean, comparing it is where it is. I mean, we experienced the same situation about 80 years ago. It's 80 years or it's I'm not sure, but I can check the facts. Several years ago. So this President William Ruto has managed to get this right within a duration of 2 years, within a duration of 2.5 years. I mean, we have to give credit where it deserves. The issue of condemning things on a day-to-day basis, how things are not right. What my brother here is not telling us is that the Mama Mboga is talking about, when this administration are coming on board, the Mama Mboga was getting one packet of unga at 260 Kenyan shilling. Today is 130. When this administration was coming to power, the Mama Mboga who were planting boga in my village were buying a pack, 50 kgs of fertilizer at 7,000 Kenya shilling. Today is 2,500 Kenya shilling. Out of the policies and the strategies which this administration has put in place. So the physical deficit has moved from 8.4% to 4.3%. This is out of the prudent management of our resources. The bank interest rates are coming down. So the economic parameters are showing that the Kenyan economy is in the right trajectory. These are two very difficult decisions to be made by this administration within a period of 2 years. And in another 1 year, we'll be seeing now the project getting rolled out, construction of the road, which you keep on mentioning a lot, Mau Road, and many other projects. The rectification project are starting this coming month of February across the country. So the project which is talking about that and which Rigathi Gachagua is busy saying is a scam of housing project. These are projects which it's a program which has employed many Kenyans and which this administration will continue with to ensure we get, we shift from the people who are in slums. Remember Article 43 of our Constitution.
It's okay.
Talks about every Kenyan has a right to proper housing.
All right.
But is a constitutional right which every Kenyan should be able to enjoy. When we have so many Kenyans in slums at the moment. Today, a Mama Mboga is able to own an apartment in this city, a nice apartment, if you pay 3,000 Kenya shilling per month.
When will we say then, fine, the macros you argued would be working. When will the micros start working and money in the pockets of Kenyans?
Money in the pocket of Kenya is being felt slowly from this year, 2025, in the sense that the inflation rate has come back, has gone down to 2.6%. That means we are able to import the merchandise. Remember, Kenya imports too many goods from the other countries, which is something which needs to change. But it can only change if we invest a huge amount of money in our manufacturing sector. Okay. But at the moment, we are able to import more goods in a cheaper way, because the foreign currency, I mean, the Kenya shilling versus US dollar. Remember, it was 160 when this administration was coming into office. Today is at 127, 128. So we are able to buy more using less amount of Kenya shilling. Okay. This means when people in the villages are buying the merchandise, they're able to buy them. 1 shilling is able to acquire more goods, more basket of goods. In other words, I'm saying 1,000 Kenyan shilling, what it was getting the other year, last year, is able to get more goods in a household than it used to be. So Kenyans will be able to see, Kenyans will be able to see more value of their money.
On that 1,000, that is very debatable, and I'm sure Mheshimiwa Nyutu is itching to respond, but let's take
No, it's not debatable, because if you are getting 260 1 year or 2 years ago, a packet of unga, today is 130.
But that 1,000 has been raided by the Affordable Housing and the Social Health Authority in the pay slips. We'll be coming to that. Let's take another commercial break. When we come back, the conversation on State of the Nation continues right here on TV 47. Please stay with us.